Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Ango. Thank you for stopping by. Today's video, Triple H no-shows Survivor Series. What is Triple H up to? Where is he at? Is he still with WWE? We're going to answer all these questions. Also, Darby Allin calls out the AEW roster. A lot of people are overlooking. It's going over their heads. But what Darby says addresses a very large issue with AEW that nobody is talking about. Also, we got some MLW news, big MLW news, and it's really exciting stuff. So if you guys want more videos like this, don't forget to click that subscribe button, like this video, and don't forget Ango in the Morning, now live, the new morning wrestling talk show every morning right here on youtube.com/AngoYT. And let's just get started with the news. MLW opens the door for free agents. That's right, they instituted a new free agent policy. It's an open door policy. I hate this. And I like this. Because basically what MLW is doing is what Ring of Honor did. Ring of Honor released their talent and said, hey, we're like a super indie company. You come in, we pay you per appearance, that type of thing, right? The problem is MLW has full-time contracts, and now they're doing an open door policy. The thing I love about it, MLW is a very accessible product. You can find MLW anywhere on the internet. YouTube, free, you can watch it for free, right? MLW has a kick-ass roster. You're going to do dream matches, okay? For example, Fandango and Tyler Breeze, maybe they don't want to sign with AEW. Maybe they don't want to be on TV right now, but they want to wrestle here and there, right? They have the option, because they got released from WWE, to go work MLW without a commitment to MLW, which is awesome. The problem is, if you bring in two free agents like that who are not going to be committed to the product long-term, and again, this is just all hypothetical, all example, but if they're not committed to the product, right? You can't make them lose, because that would look bad. Like, these guys shouldn't lose, right? But at the same time, too, you can't make them win, because then you're devaluing the talent that you already have signed that are committed to you. Another issue, too, is championship belts, right? You can't put the belt on a free agent. I mean, you could, and you could sell the mystery of, oh, this guy's a free agent, and he could take my belt to wherever, that type of thing. But at the end of the day, I think that devalues your product, because they are not an MLW guy. They're not an MLW girl. Like, they are not signed to MLW. So, yes, it's really cool for the short term, but when it comes to long-term commitment, I think it's really bad. And actually, that's why I think contracts do typically work out really well in wrestling. It's just how you treat those wrestlers under contract that's the bigger issue. WWE versus AEW. We talked about this on Ango in the Morning, where I said, AEW, they're not going to do releases. WWE does. But you best believe that there's going to be AEW talent that leave, because they're not going to get re-signed, because Tony Khan is not going to look like an asshole, but he is going to make sure he does do right by his business. So by MLW instituting this open door policy, I like it to a certain extent. I just don't like it for the long-term extent, and I think this could be an issue in the long term. It depends on booking 1,000%, and I'm not sure if I trust MLW at this stage of the game, because at the end of the day, if you have a top free agent come in, for example, Bray Wyatt or Braun Strowman, and they're coming in for a couple appearances, you might know what to do for these couple of appearances, but after that, somebody has to lose or they have to leave. And you have to explain this in a way that is not detrimental to them, because if it's detrimental to them, then you're hurting their value when they leave. But you sure as hell can't do anything that's detrimental to your own brand. Let's talk a little bit about Triple H. Triple H was not seen at Survivor Series backstage. However, we do know Nick Khan, Stephanie McMahon, and tons of other executives and very important people in suits were there backstage. Now, this is not shocking. There was obviously a lot of attention to the detail in terms of marketing the product a week before the show. Late night shows, radio shows, appearances, interviews. It was media galore. WWE was out there. They were collaborating with TikTokers and content creators, and they were trying to get everybody to know about Survivor Series because it was in New York. Cool. Nonetheless, Triple H was not there. Now, of course, we talked about this the other day. Triple H was seen visiting the new WWE headquarters. It was caught on video. So we know that he's still with WWE. But of course, why is WWE so silent on this? Why is Triple H so silent on this? I don't know. But we know Triple H was not there at Survivor Series. Now, in terms of the overall health and conditions of Triple H, I don't like to speculate, right? WWE was very vague in terms of the initial report of him having a cardiac event. Obviously, we know he's alive. Clearly, he looked to be doing pretty good when he was on video walking around. But I think we're in a situation where something in WWE with Triple H is not the same. So while there were reports that Triple H still runs NXT, I don't know if that's necessarily true anymore, right? Triple H not being backstage at Survivor Series tells me that either one, his health is really not that good, or two, things are changing, which is okay. I don't see it as like a bad thing if things are changing with Triple H. If he's not going to be like, I feel like Triple H was doing a lot for WWE in terms of media, interviews, everything you can imagine. So the fact that like he's basically gone ghost, it just tells me that there is something that WWE is not telling us. Whether it's good or bad, it doesn't really matter. I just wish they would kind of be upfront about what's going on, because there are a lot of people who are concerned, is Triple H even still in the WWE? Obviously he is, but what is he doing? What's his role now? What's he doing with NXT? Why is NXT 2.0 being stripped down from everything? Why is all of Triple H's guys being released? Why? This is what people want to know, and I think people are very upset about it. Let's talk a little bit about Darby Allin. If you guys aren't familiar, Darby Allin is one of the 4 pillars of AEW, somebody who is deemed to be a very successful AEW homegrown talent. My first time watching Darby Allin was at an Evolve show during WrestleMania weekend. I think it was WrestleMania 34. Ultimately, this guy is a badass. And as you guys know, Darby Allin gets a lot of TV time. He's in a prominent storyline in AEW pretty much at all times. Obviously, he's linked up with Sting. And then, of course, there has been a lot of talk about WWE guys coming into AEW. And I really like this topic because on the November 22nd episode of Angle in the Morning, the debut episode of my new wrestling talk show, I talked about WWE talent in AEW and whether or not AEW is signing too many WWE talent. Now, the reason why I want to talk about this is because Darby Allin had something to say, and I thought this was really clever. I feel great about it. It should make you want to step up and improve your game. If you're not willing to step up, your game isn't on point then. So basically, this comment comes from Darby Allin after being asked about essentially new competition, new talent, new opportunities. Darby Allin is basically alluding to the fact that when you look at AEW's roster right now as it stands, there are a lot of talent not being used. If you're not being used, it's because you're not good enough, okay? And Darby Allin is saying to step it up. Now, the thing is, Darby Allin is more than qualified to talk about this because people forgot Darby Allin didn't have television experience. He was one of the few people in AEW at the beginning who was a great signing with very little television experience, but as time went on, every single week he got better and better and better. So there are a lot of talent out there in AEW, and I know AEW is not going to release them, but there is going to be a lot of talent departing AEW. There will be. It's going to happen. There is going to be talent when their contract runs out. Tony Khan will basically have them not extend. Or I can see Tony Khan giving them a backstage role or something where they could be useful in another position, but they won't be a talent contract. That's how I envision things going down. And Darby Allin is absolutely right. He speaks for a lot of people when he says he feels good about the new competition coming in. Because it should be competitive. Not everything should be handed to you, and I think Darby Allin does a fantastic job basically answering this question. Darby Allin taking shots at his roster is essentially what's happening. Step up your game. He's telling you to step up because look what happens when you step up. And this is why you see talent like MJF and Wardlow and Shawn Spears and The Pinnacle. This is why you see them, Sammy Guevara, Jake Hager, right? Because they all stepped up. They all do something unique. You can hate on Matt Hardy, you can hate on Orange Cassidy and their feud, but at the end of the day, these guys are ready for television, and there are a ton of talent in AEW who are not ready for television. They were never ready for television, and they got signed in the beginning stages of the company, and basically they're getting paid money to sit on their ass, and that is why Darby Allin is telling people to step up, because if you step up, then your game will be on point. All right, guys, my name is Ango. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Don't forget Ango in the Morning live Monday through Friday. If you guys want to become a member of the channel, go ahead and join. I will see you guys next time. Don't forget to click that subscribe button. Peace.